those of us that are members of the workforce, we know some jobs and tasks can be pretty strenuous and tiring. However, imagine you're working a 14-hour workday. You have no time to break. You have hardly enough time for yourself to use the bathroom because you're so piled up with tasks. This is the reality for Amazon warehouse workers all over the country. If you've watched the news recently, you've probably heard about this. Amazon has been under fire recently as harsh and unethical treatment of their employees has come to light, leading to a turnover rate of over 150%. In the study, a hard-hitting investigative report into Amazon shows that workers' needs were neglected in favor of getting goods delivered quickly by Jack Kelly. The issues that Amazon workers have faced recently are detailed and exactly how former CEO Jeff Bezos failed to address them. In Chapter 2 of our textbook, you probably remember reading about the human relations movement and a fear involved in that known as country club management. Jeff Bezos worried too much about being seen as country club management and decided to fire employees who raised any concerns, asked questions, or that he thought would want to raise soon enough. By eliminating all of his veteran employees, Jeff Bezos failed to gain his employees' trust, build relationships in the organization, and led to more issues arising. In the Forbes article by Jack Kelly, a summary of the recent issues that Amazon's warehouse workers have faced is detailed, along with the lack of concern that Amazon's higher management had for its employees at this time. All of these reports came to light upon one mom reporting that her checks had been shorted by at least $90 for over a year and a half, and emails to even Jeff Bezos himself led to nothing. More and more people came forward with this exact issue, and checks had been shorted at over 180 Amazon warehouse facilities in the United States. After this, more and more issues came to light regarding Amazon's treatment of its employees. Employees reported being underpaid, overworked, constant surveillance, and undervalued, not even having enough time to use the restroom during the day. All of their concerns were ignored, and most likely due to former CEO Jeff Bezos' idea of dealing with employee issues. So Jeff Bezos had a very interesting point of view on workers. He thought that the longer that you kept a worker, the more likely they were to decrease productivity and expect a raise, which would cost the company money. So his solution to this was just to replace veteran workers before their productivity went down. And he couldn't exactly fire them for no reason, so he would offer bonuses to those who would leave earlier so he could replace them. This is what led to Amazon's gigantic turnover rate. However, the constant replacing of employees decreased productivity because he was losing his veteran workers, and it led to distrust and fear among the veteran employees, fearing that they would be booted. It also led to an unhealthy work environment. Since this information ended up coming out, Amazon did gain a new CEO and has attempted to backtrack on its horrible reputation for employees and has decided to implement new mental health services to try to build back that employee trust and employee environment. One example of that is Amazon, which was a kiosk in the warehouses that provided mental health and meditation videos. But this was met with a lot of backlash because a lot of Amazon's employees were not easy to trust the new environment and the new CEO after how horribly they've been treated previously. Without even discussing our textbook, I think we can all agree that Jeff Bezos is not the definition of a good manager. However, if we want to talk about management styles such as human relations, Jeff Bezos was focused on entirely the wrong concepts. He was worried more about possibly fitting a stereotype and trying to prevent a bad outcome from happening than following the management style and working to improve the environment. He was mostly concerned about enabling what our book discusses as country club management, or fostering a culture where leaders end up caring more about pleasing their subordinates and become entirely focused on making their employees happy than getting their tasks completed and productivity done. So Jeff Bezos' solution to this was to encourage veteran employees to leave with bonuses or motivation to get them to go get different jobs, and if they refused to do any of this, they were just fired. He didn't want employees to think that they deserved raises or start expecting rewards and losing productivity. That was his reason behind that. However, this just led to a giant turnover rate and a downfall of productivity due to the loss of that veteran employees. So You're probably thinking, why should I read this article? I don't care about Amazon. I'm not a big CEO. I don't work for Amazon. But we're all in communications to learn how to communicate between a manager and a subordinate. So I think this article is a great resource for anyone who wants to learn how to not manage a corporation. Because Jeff Bezos worked so incredibly hard to avoid this country club management and avoid negative stereotypes and become the best manager that he totally lost sight of what the human relations management style was all about. So much so that he created an unethical environment for his employees and tarnished Amazon's reputation for the foreseeable future. Instead of fearing so many negative stereotypes, Jeff Bezos should have communicated with his employees, valued their input, and kept his veteran workers around to increase productivity at the company. These would have fit the pillars of the human relations movement and caused a way better outcome for him. At Amazon, employees were not treated ethically, especially in Amazon's warehouses. If improvements are made in the work environment at Amazon with the new CEO and trust is built with employees, the human relations style can begin to take shape. Therefore, I feel this article is really valuable to read because it tells you what not to do in the human relations movement, and it makes you think about what Jeff Bezos could have done better to foster a better environment for his company. In the end, Jeff Bezos' management methods for eliminating productivity loss serve as an example to all of us of poor management and the effects it can have on your company. It can affect your employees' morale and even the organization's entire reputation. So if Amazon wants to build a healthy culture of this style for its employees, they need to balance productivity with ethics and start communicating with their employees. They should focus on human relations management rather than fearing the stereotypes of it, ensuring the employees are valued and respected. Thank you.